Welcome to day 5 of the 5-day meditation. So, of the 5-day meditation challenge, you have the opportunity to win the meditation course that is on sale right now for $97. So you could get that for free if you participate in all 5 days and you are in the Well Nourished group or one of my other groups as well. And with that being to participate, to utilize that, that's early, I'll get my words out. To utilize that, you would want to share one of the videos from one of the pages that it's posted at, comment on what you liked about that meditation, and then get yourself in the group and make sure that you are commenting on those photos so that I know that you have watched them. Okay, so I'm Izzy Nalley. I'll be leading our meditation today. For this meditation, as we've been doing for all of them, and you can catch the replays in the Well Nourished Life group as well. So we are doing a meditation, centering ourselves, and then we'll go into an explanation, a little lesson on meditation, and then we'll do another meditation. So that's 2 meditations and an explanation for all 5 days. All right. So the purpose of that first meditation is to center ourselves. And what does it mean to center ourselves? It's to really just gather ourselves and bring that mind and body together so that we can better show up to listen and to participate in the next one. So as you sit, you can be seated in a chair, you could be seated on the floor or in your bed, and we're just noticing the hips, noticing if you have a tendency to lean towards one side more than the other. So bringing in that awareness, we've been practicing building up our ability to be the observer. So feel your connectedness with the floor, with your seat. And as you do that, notice if you have this upward pull, as if you're trying to fight gravity, or if you can relax into and utilize gravity to let the muscles relax. Just from the hips down. Notice if you are clenching in anticipation, or can you really be present in this moment and relax? And as we relax, notice the tip of the tailbone, the hips, the sacral area. So you can relax and release that area. And if you're not quite sure, you can always tense it really tight and then release it. Noticing up the spine, and as you travel your awareness up the spine, you might notice the actual spine, the structure, or you might notice just the muscles around it. So each of our level of awareness and what we typically pay attention to or not is going to vary from person to person. Maybe you notice that by your ribs, if your ribs feel shifted. Noticing your shoulders. Notice, is your chest open? Are you giving yourself the structure to be able to breathe easier? Now let's take 3 deep breaths. There's no right or wrong way to do this, just deep breaths. Notice where you're holding tension in your body. Again, just settling in. This is settling in, the beginning of the practice. Notice right and left side. You can give yourself a wiggle if needed to find your center. And as you breathe and you notice your breath, you might be aware of that center a little more. Where's your breath at? Where are you putting all of the weight in your upper body to hold this posture? Maybe it's, and these are common things, your low back. You feel the pressure and then you feel your breath small in the chest. Or maybe you're more rounded and you feel your breath in your belly. See if you can find an in-between where the breath feels full and your core holds you and supports you. Notice if you can do that by releasing the hips and the tip of the tailbone. And we can be awareness of the ears, right and left ear. Notice, are we in the habit of letting our head hang down, or are we letting the head rest on the spine? How about our eyes, at the top of our head, our scalp? Allow openness to come into your body. Allow the edges to fade, and allow yourself to breathe. And the purpose of this meditation is just to become aware, to become a little bit more centered, a little bit more grounded, so that we can open up our ears and be here in this present moment. One more deep breath. And I'm wiggling the fingers and toes, opening the eyes. Thank you for joining me this morning. So this is our last day of the 5-day meditation challenge. If you would like to practice more meditation with me, I recommend getting into one of my courses or programs, or at least friend request me so that you can see when I'm doing things. I do want to give you a little tidbit, and not to distract you because I will tell you this at the end as well. But there is a really great app, and I do have some meditations on there. It's called Insight Timer, and it's really great because it has the timer so that you can press. And this is the big tip for the day, is to make meditation a regular and consistent practice. Regular and consistent might be a little different than you think it is. So many people think, oh, well, I can't meditate 20 minutes a day. It's not the length of time. It's the consistency of when to meditate, and the consistency of doing it every day. So the fact that you could do it every day, no matter when or no matter how long, would be the first step. The second step would be to do it every day at the same time. And that can vary, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I have my mornings that I cannot do my full 20 minutes that I would like to do, and I have to do it for 10 because that's all the time that I have left. And so notice that, utilize that. And then the third phase would then be to have a regular, consistent, every day at the same time for the intended amount, and you're able to do that and grow on it. I often find myself lately telling myself, okay, I'm doing 20 minutes, I need to up this, I need to up it to 30. But I've also been meditating since I was a teenager, so I don't expect everyone to be at that level. So honor where you're at, and honor where you're at for the day. And this is part of building up that self-compassion that does happen with meditation. That as we become the observer, we learn to judge less. And as we judge less, we can honor where we are in the moment. And as we practice being in the present moment more and more, we learn how to honor what we're feeling in that moment instead of judging and comparing to other times. So there's a lot happening within the meditation practice that is very unseen. Lots of beautiful things. It's like doing a dance. There's all these little subtle cues that the average person might not see, but you, as the person that learned the dance, might have had to practice hours on. And so give yourself grace. So guided meditations are always the easiest when we're beginners. And we do the guided meditations, and we find guided meditations that slowly have more and more pauses in between that allow us to explore and navigate. And so when you're starting your own practice, especially a mindfulness practice, just to sit down with a timer for 5 minutes, that might be challenging, and that's okay. It's like riding a bike without training wheels. First you have to use the training wheels. Those might be those guided meditations. And then once you hop on the bike, you might not be able to go very far, and that's okay. But the more frequently you get on, the better you will get. And if you give up too soon, well, then you're going to feel like you couldn't do it when you could. You just gave up too soon. And so in the beginning, especially, it's really great to just practice, practice, practice. And then as a practitioner, I might have a day where I skip a day. Not intentionally, just, life got busy and I forgot my practice for the day. And I'm human, right? We're all human. And it's easier for me to come back to my practice the next day because it's instilled in me. I've been riding the bike for years. So if I get off for a year, I'll be able to step back on and ride that bike. I might be a little wobbly or shaky at first. All right? I love metaphors. So if you've got any really good metaphors, go ahead and drop those. Drop them down. All right. So with this being said, our last meditation, we will continue to be the observer, and we'll do a little bit of thought labeling, which also allows us to sit in silence a little bit more too. So if it feels a little intimidating at any point, as we've learned in the previous videos, you can come back to your anchor, your breath. You can come back to your anchor. Maybe it's the sensation of your feet, as we did last time, or just any sensation in the body. And with that being said, we're going to explore and see if we can just notice when we're thinking. Now, a fun little added bonus would be to count the breath. To be the inhale for 1, exhale for 1, and get yourself to 10, and then start over. And you're like, but there's no end goal, because there's no end goal with meditation, and that starting over actually helps you, because when you were supposed to stop at 10 and start back at 1, you might find yourself at 20, and you're going, oh my gosh, I totally was thinking and counting at the same time, and I lost myself. So again, with mindfulness meditation, it's all about that repetition of, just like if we were at the gym, we're catching ourselves, bringing ourselves back to the focus. So the focus could be counting. The focus could be a sensation. The focus could be your breath. Okay? So find yourself in your seated meditation. Ears and shoulders in line. Allow yourself to open up as we practiced before, those feelings, those sensations that we would have in the body of open, free, happy, faith, hope, abundance. You can have it all. You can have it all at the same time. Allow yourself to feel the breath expanding, feeling all of the abundant air around you, all of the resources available to you. And as we open up, we see more opportunity. As we open up, we see more possibility. As we open up, we allow ourselves to believe that it is all possible and it's all available to us. And as we open up, we then choose an anchor. As you open up, we allow ourselves to have that anchor to keep coming back to. So notice, is that your breath? Maybe it's a sensation. And as we feel the breath or the sensation, you might utilize that counting. The inhale for 1, exhale for 2, inhale for 3, exhale for 4, inhale for 5, exhale for 6, inhale for 7, exhale for 8, inhale for 9, exhale for 10. Let's start over. Inhale 1, exhale 2. Continue your counting or just stay with your anchor. We'll sit here for a moment, and if you hear any noises around you, just allow yourself to practice that meditation does not have to be done silently. Because in the real world, it's never just quiet. We have to deal with people. We have to be participating in the world. Notice any tension that's already crept into the body. Can you release that? And every time you catch the mind wandering, just start back at 1 if you're counting. Can we soften any tension in the eyes or cheeks? Has your posture changed? Where are you at now? We practiced the fear response yesterday. Have you come back into fear, or are you allowing yourself to stay open? The more practice of staying open in meditation allows us to stay open more throughout our day. Hope, faith, trust, abundance, love, possibilities, anything available, everything available. Inviting peace into your body, allowing it to expand in your body. And notice where you feel your center. Center of the heart. Maybe it's in your core. Maybe it's just a general feeling of openness. As you notice your breath, notice, is it consistent breath? Is it a deep or shallow breath? And to not judge yourself, just be aware. Every time we notice we've lost our anchor, we notice that we were thinking. And the more we do this practice, we might be able to label what it is we were thinking about. So as we continue, notice when you catch yourself, can you explore what that thought was? And it might just be, oh, I was thinking. It might be, I was planning, I was worrying, I was judging. Just notice that thought. First, you might just notice the side effect of the thought in the body. Once we get better at that, we can notice the thought. If tension has crept back into the body somewhere, that represents a thought. It might be conscious or subconscious. Subconscious thoughts are leading us through the day. And only through meditation or hypnosis can we identify those subconscious thoughts. Are you still holding your peace in your container, in your body? Or have we let it spill out? Have we released it? Let's take 5 deep breaths in through the nose, and let's exhale through the mouth. See if we can release the jaw a little with each exhale. And when you're ready, adding movement to your body, your fingers, your toes, maybe a little wiggle side to side to ease the spine. How did that feel? Because I know often so many people think that meditation is relaxing or simple or boring. And meditation does not have to be boring at all. There are so many meditations that keep you very occupied in the mental exercise. But also, it's not always easy. I will be completely honest. Meditation is not always easy. It gets easier. And there are some meditations that you will have that will just feel so peaceful and blissful, and you want that feeling. And so you sit in meditation and you try to chase that feeling, but that is attachment, that is expectation, and that judges all the other meditations, saying that they're less than. So we don't judge our meditations. We don't chase a previous meditation. We don't chase a previous experience. Because by chasing that, we're saying that all other experiences are less than, and that is judging. That is attachment. And so we want to release our attachments so that we can fully show up and enjoy each and every moment for what it is. And it might be that we're enjoying the moment because it's a learning moment. We might be enjoying the moment because it gives us a sense of comparison to all of the other moments. And although that's a form of judgment, isn't it that the hard times are where we learned our lessons? We can learn lessons from positive times too. So I never want to give all the credit to the hard times. But through the challenges, and not all challenges are crappy. Like, not all challenges are crappy, and they don't have to be. But through the challenge, through the journey is where we learn. So to be chasing an end goal defies the purpose. And so that is why with meditation we say there is no end goal. There might be benefits that come along the path, but we don't chase an end goal. We practice to practice. We practice for the benefits. We practice to show up in the present moment, because that is the only way that we show up. By showing up in the present moment is how we can find gratitude for the sunset. By showing up in the present moment is to say, oh, hi Jennifer. By showing up in the present moment is how we are able to take in the smell, to enjoy being alive, to finding like, oh, isn't this ironic? Isn't this funny? And we can laugh within those moments as well. So there's gratitude in every moment. We have to reprogram our mind out of caveman, tribal survival mode, which says be on alert. Be curious in the sense of how are we judging? How are we improving all the time? Survival mode tells us that we can always be better, that right now is never good enough. Survival mode, oh gosh, it prevents us. Do we want to evolve from this very animalistic nature? We're even seeing animals evolve and have compassion. But that only happens when we step out of survival mode. And so to step out of survival mode, meditation is a beautiful way. Because it teaches us to be in the present moment. It teaches us to stop judging ourselves more, because we often judge ourselves far more than we judge other people. And we might think, I've done this plenty of times. I think all the time, like, oh, I don't judge anyone. I'm I'm so unbiased. But when I'm in meditation, I become aware sometimes that I am judging. Or maybe I have these instinctual reactions that I'm unaware of. Maybe I cringe a little externally when I see things and I'm fully unaware of that because it's a subconscious thing that I might have learned along my journey to be where I am now. Yes. It's beautiful starry night. Yes. I know we went for a walk yesterday and the sky looked like cotton candy. And, if we weren't in the present moment, we wouldn't have seen it. If we weren't in the present moment, you might not feel like going for a walk and holding your partner's hand or hearing the laughter of a kid nearby or just hearing the birds or the breeze or just noticing how everything is changing. And the seasons are a beautiful thing to observe because we too change with each season. Our body responds to those seasons, and especially if you and your parents and your ancestors have grown up in land where seasons happened, those seasonal changes are programmed into you. Because think about all the changes that had to happen with you each season, with your ancestors each season. Their focus had to change. The food they ate changed. Everything changed with each season. And we'll speak more about how our mindset changes and our energy changes and how we can set goals to go along with each season so that instead of fighting ourselves, that we can go along with our natural inclinations. And we'll be doing that in our Goal Getter workshop that'll be coming up for the new year. So I speak to that, and we have a program where we hold ourselves accountable, and we'll have bi-weekly meetings, and it's just a big group where we get together and we say our goals each week and we set our new goals, and we do that as a tribe and holding each other accountable, and we talk about our obstacles because obstacles happen, and it's ironic that you will notice more and more that each one of those go with the seasons, and we'll talk about different goals that we could be setting as well. So I'm Izzy. Thank you so much for joining me in this 5-day meditation challenge. We're also in day 5 of our 10-day reset. And you can come back and utilize these meditations at any time. They're in the Well Nourished group. They will be in the units section. And then if you're in our frantic and fragmented group, which I need to start calling our focused and feeling whole group, for our Well Nourished Life program, the 4-month program, those will also be in the unit section as well. And so those units just help keep us organized, help us find these easier, and allow us to have references. All right. So I will see you and hopefully talk to you later. If you would like to have a chat, if you'd like to get into one of the programs, if you're not already in one, or if you're in one of the programs and you still have questions about meditation or being in the meditation program, by all means, let's schedule a chat. And the way to schedule a chat with me is really simple. If you ever need one, it is calendly.com/Izzy Nalley /let's chat. So I'll post that in the comments here. And if you're not already in contact with me, that is a super easy way to get yourself booked. .com/Izzy Nalley /let's